Felix said, JP Morgan, the world's largest investment bank, is predicting some horrific things for tomorrow. And I thought it'd be good to be aware of it so you know what to do, how to react, what to expect. We're not here to scare you. We're here to make you better informed and to have nice Christmas candles on. They're real candles, honestly. Right then, so let's jump straight into it. Of course, none of the following is financial advice. You know that by now. My intention here is always to kind of give you another perspective, hopefully make you into a better, smarter investor so you know where to look, you know what to do, that kind of thing. That's really the intention of this entire community here. So for all of you guys who've been building this community, I really do appreciate you very, very much. Now, what's the nightmare scenario? A 7.8% inflation print tomorrow would bring the S&P down 4 to 5%, they say. Now, is that the outlier event? Yeah, that's not really what we expect, but bear in mind, inflation has come in somewhat unexpectedly. PPI, Producer Price Index, which is more forward guiding really, came in stronger than expected. There was a hint of a wage spiral last week, so I wouldn't exclude it, to be honest with you. In fact, I'll show you a couple of trades, or at least a trade idea that I shared with my most advanced students just. Actually, we did two trades just that I shared with them, because you can benefit from everything, like literally anything you can make money out of with a high probability. And those were like, again, 80% probability trades. So now, what are they also saying? They're saying inflation is also muddled by the Chinese reopening, which could prove to be inflationary, because actually China not being open meant that they were buying a heck of a lot less commodities, a heck of a lot less oil, and that's been keeping inflation quite nice and low for us. Didn't feel like it, but it's definitely true. What's the most bullish scenario here? An 8 to 10% rally if inflation comes in below 7%. Could be the end of the bear market, and could give us a real like rally here. But what's much more likely? Let's look at not the crazy outliers. Let's look at the more likely stuff. So every major thing you could possibly trade has a history of how it reacts to inflation and whether it comes in above or below. So if inflation comes in a little higher than expected, like what's going to get hit hardest tomorrow? Well, according to history, short momentum rather, software, ARC particularly. So growth stocks, basically growth would really get hit if inflation comes in higher than expected. Now, what would benefit tremendously? Well, again, growth would, because it is the most volatile of everything. And then cyclical stocks also, because it would indicate if inflation came in lower, that maybe we wouldn't get such a recession, and therefore cyclicals would like have a bit of a party. Consumer discretionaries would also do pretty well. And overall, the NASDAQ, you would expect that to go up about 3 percentage points. So now that you know that's the up and the downside, what can you actually do about this? Well, you can look at the options market. And you might not look at the options market and say, why would anybody? I don't trade options. I need to know. Well, the options market drives the stock market. So even if you don't want to touch options, then and you're happy with 50-50 results on the stocks, not on the long run. I'm also a very long-term stock investor. I do love stocks, but it's just in the short term, it's much harder to make money with it. So we've got a range here from the options market that they're basically pricing in. They're basically saying we're going to be between sort of these two levels, which is basically 4,000 or just below, and about 3,880. That's the highest probability range that they think we're going to trade in, which is like a pretty narrow range. But a lot of the options market, huge bulk of it. So this is just the December 12th expiry. So that's basically today. Tomorrow is all over the place again. And if you go out over the next of the month, the range you actually have as an expected range is crazy. It's between 3,700 and 4,200. That's a big range, right? In only the next 2 weeks. So the market's very much like, I don't know which way it's going to go, but when it's going to go really long and hard. Now, the other thing, that I would be aware of. This is a little bit more medium term thinking. This is the dot plot of the Fed. And I know it's a bit of a confusing thing, but basically they're saying by the end of 2022, we're going to have 4.4% interest rate. That's basically what they're saying, something like that. At the end of 2023, they're saying we're going to have 6% interest rate, and so on. And then they're kind of guiding us lower a little bit here. But the market isn't buying it. The market isn't buying it at all. What the market expects is this line here. And you can see that's much, much lower. So basically saying, no, you will be cutting rates next year, and you will get us to about 4% next year, not 4.6%. Now, you might be thinking, why is he splitting hairs over 0.6%? Well, a 0.6% difference in interest rate will give you about a 6% difference in your growth portfolio. So maybe I have your attention now. It matters. It matters a great, great deal. And the market is underpricing it. So if the Fed is really holding true and keeping rates higher for longer, there is some pain ahead here. So bear that in mind. I told you so. Now, before we talk about scripts and trades here, if you want to get my free trading script, I've made a 6-page document that sort of lays out really like how I look at things, what I look at, what tools I use, and so on. It's free. Literally, I hand it out. I hand out so much free educational materials. It's Christmas every day here. Go to felixfriends.org/FB group. That's felixfriends.org/FB group. It's on Facebook. Yeah, I know it. If you don't love Facebook, send me a message on Twitter or on Instagram and we'll send you the same thing. But yeah, if you're going to get your hands on that, head over there. felixfriends.org/FB group. So what can you do with this? So this is the S&P, right? So how could you trade this? You basically have, as a stock investor, you're thinking, well, it's going to go up. Let me get a different color here. You might think it's going to go, excuse me. You might think it's stock market's going to go up. Well, you got about a 50% chance of being right on that. Or you might think all hell is going to break loose and the market's going to go down, in which case you have about a 50% chance of being right on that. Doesn't sound particularly appealing, does it? I'm not a gambler. I don't like to make 50% bets. Like, what's the point? You're going to lose all the money you put in at best. So what do we do instead? Well, one way of trading this, and this is a bit more advanced, so I only shared this with our advanced tier of students. You could set up a range that has you basically saying, there's this little range here. And in that range, we lose money. But here and there, we make money. And what does that mean? Well, we have about an 83% chance of making money on the trade we just set up. So that's the smart thing with options. You can literally pick and choose whether you're going to make money being out of the range or in the range, or if you're going to make money if it goes up, but it could also go down 10%. So, you can really do some creativity there. And that's the beauty. And that's how we can get to these kind of high probabilities here, 83% probabilities on a trade. Doesn't mean you're going to win every one of them. No, but you're going to win approximately 83 out of 100. And that's a pretty good place to be. And that's kind of what we're seeing. And that's how we get to these results here. So that's how we made 144% on capital employed so far this year, literally under 44% up here. And it's been tremendous fun. I've shared every single one of these trades with you guys in the community. So you have complete transparency there, all recorded and so on. And you can, of course, come and learn that from us. I do teach it and my team teach it. So just head over to, if you have 5 figures, that is, or 6 figures, or 7 figures, or 8 figures, or 9 figures. We don't turn you away even with 10, which would be $1 billion. I have not had a billionaire student. We have a 9-figure student, and we have a fair few 7 and 8-figure students. To you be in good company, that's felixfriends.org/coaching. Check it out. Give us a call. We'll walk you through it and see whether this is something that you might want to do and that would get you to your financial goals. If you're just starting out, I love that. I love people starting out. That's really one of the big things I want to do with this channel, is encourage people to actually get cracking and actually focus and not just waste their lives away in 9-to-5 jobs and then stuffing the income into a sock, or worse yet, giving it to most mutual funds, because most mutual funds will lose your money more so than even the S&P 500. But so that's at felixfriends.org/options. That's 100 lessons pre-recorded program. You get to watch me trade live every week and so on. So check that out, felixfriends.org/options. The coupon code is a guarantee for that. I think that expires today. I'm pretty sure it does. It gives you 41% off that coupon code there. So there we have it. I will, of course, be live tomorrow when the inflation data comes out, and then the biggie, of course, after that is what the Fed makes of it. Because I don't think the inflation number is going to influence their decision in terms of what percentage they're going to give us, 0.5% hike. But it will impact the lingo, the wording of the press conference. And that's really what moves the market. So I will also be live streaming that, and I'll give you my commentary on that. So join me. And a huge thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And book a call with us to see how we might be able to help you get to your financial goals faster.